Hi everybody, it's Mark Shelsh here. This is the Mark Art Show coming to you from Galeria de las Islas in Metro Manila, Philippines. And we've just hung a new show. It's an Austin show. It is really incredibly wonderful. I love this kind of work, and I'll step aside so you can see this one here, which is kind of weird and wonderful. Then you have this here, a very different nude. And over here we have I think it's meant to be a monkey drinking a bottle of beer. I really like what Austin does. It's incredible work. It's very, very exciting, very new. Now you see, excuse me, this is one of those instances where art that I like, other people would call bad, and because they dislike it. You see, there's no good or bad art. There's the art we like and there's the art we don't like. Okay, friends, I hope you see that with this. You might look at this and say, oh, but I look at it and say, wow. So it really comes down to personal preference, what you like and what you don't like. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about this. I get some feedback from artists who talk weird when I talk about selling, and they say to me, yeah, but it's the responsibility of the gallery and dealers to sell art. Well, maybe yes. I don't totally agree with that, because I believe artists are their own best salespeople. But if that be the case, then there's not enough galleries and dealers to go around for all the artists to show on a regular basis in a gallery and be represented by a gallery. Therefore, artists, you need to learn to sell yourself. You need to be able to sell your work. Now, I talk about this all the time. You need to be able to stand up in front of strangers and talk about your art, talk about how wonderful it is, talk about your process, talk about whys, all that kind of thing, the story behind it. I still love stories. I think you need to have a story. Stories go with art. Okay, all right, here we are. We're afraid to go out and sell because we don't want to have to deal with strangers, because we've told ourselves a story that we're shy and we're timid and we can't do these things. But at some stage we're going to have to. So what we need to do is get in front of people. Now, I encourage all artists, wherever you are, get involved in every group show you possibly can. Get your art there and make sure you're the one who talks to the strangers. Also, get involved in competitions, go along to competitions, be in the competitions, not particularly to win, but to be able to show your work, get the opportunity of a sale, and you are talking to strangers. Because it's all about strangers. Strangers are the one who control our life, because strangers have all the fame we need, strangers have the money we need, and they're the ones who are going to collect our work. Now, if you do those things, here's a challenge for you, something I'd like you to think about. What you need to do is find out as much as you possibly can about your artwork. So if you're not regularly in a gallery and you're not regularly in a group show, I would encourage you to get involved with a craft market. One of those weekend markets. Now, there's many of them around with different labels, but there's art in most of them. Okay, get involved with one of those and make a commitment to do it every weekend for at least 3 or 4 months. Get in and do this, set yourself up there. Now, when you do this, obviously this is going to be incredibly scary stuff. The thief is not going to like this. The thief is going to tell you things that you don't do things like this, that you're shy, that you're introverted, that you don't go and talk to people, that your art sells itself, and all the things that you know are not true. The thief will do this because the thief wants safety. But you want to sell your art. So this is what we're going to do. Now, when we do this, what I want you to do is keep statistics. I want you to know how many people come into your booth, how many people you talk to, and how many sales you get. Now, let's start at the top here. I want to know how many people come into your booth that you talk to. You must talk to them. Now, if 100 people come in and you only speak to 10, then really 10 is the number I'm looking at. Because it's got to be people that you personally walked up to and said, hi, my name's Mark, I'm the artist. This is my work. And relate to the stranger. This is what I want these figures kept. Now, when you keep these figures, I want you also to find and keep how many people actually buy. So if you speak to 80 people in one afternoon or one morning and one buys, then you write that down. One person buys, and then you write it's a male or it's female, and then you get the demographic, what age group you would put them in, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that kind of thing, and the price point they bought at. So you're going to start keeping records. Because if you start to keep these kind of records, you're going to know more about your business. Okay, and very quickly a statistic will begin to rise. You will start to see that if you talk to 20 strangers, you make 2 sales. So now we're starting to see that you're selling, every time you talk to 10 people, you make 1 sale. That's quite good really, friends. That's a good target. If you can get 1 out of 10, that's good. Okay, so now you begin to know something, and I'm going to point something out at the end here about this. So every time you walk up in this market and you talk to 10 people who walk into your booth who like your work, you know that out of that 10, 1 is going to make a purchase. That's good. As you get easier within you what you're doing, as you feel more comfortable talking to people, as you begin to make friends of a lot of these people, so you might see your numbers go up to 2 in every 10, and that's very good. So as you become better at what you're doing, as you become comfortable and more able to speak to strangers, so your numbers will come up. Now if you can get 2 out of 10 for every time you speak to 10 people, that is a very good statistic. Honestly, 3 out of 10 is fantastic. If you could get 3 out of 10 people you talk to purchase your work at whatever price point, you are going to do fantastic. Now, you might have one of those days where you have 30 people come in and 15 buy, okay, and you've had a brilliant day. It's about overall statistics over time. So you've got to keep your statistics over time. So every week multiplies into it. So you get an average of how many people you speak to how many sales you get. And as I said, if you can get 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 is brilliant, 3 out of 10 is fantastic. Now you're learning something about your art. You're learning the demographic you sell into best. You're learning which sex prefers your work, who is easy to sell to. It might be easy to sell to females than it is to males, whatever it might be. You will start to see a certain price point becomes better than other price points. So these are great demographics you can learn. So ultimately now you are starting to feel more comfortable dealing with strangers, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to be able to sell to strangers, because strangers are the ones who will be your collectors, not family and not friends. It's strangers. So the more strangers you talk to, the more sales you will get. So if you're averaging 1 out of 10, which I said is good, and one day, one weekend you get to speak to 100 people, there's a good likelihood that you're going to get 10 good sales. That's fantastic. That's what we're looking for. It's about averages. Now, the other thing you're going to learn is that when people say no to your art, it's got nothing to do with you personally. It's that statistics say 1 out of 10 will buy. So 9 people are not going to want to buy your art. That does not mean they're rejecting you. It does not mean that the art is not good. It just means that only 1 out of 10 buy. Now that is a great thing to learn, because all of a sudden rejection is not personal, it's just a statistic. That's the way the apples fall. I sell 1 out of 10. So if I can speak to 30 people, I'm making 3 good sales. That's the way to see this. Don't see because I have 9 people look at this painting and say, no, I don't like it, it's awful. And then one person comes in and buys it. Well, I've done well. The 9 people who didn't like it would never buy it anyway, so I had to show it to the 10th person to get the sale. And that just means that statistics rule everything. So think about that. The law of averages, you show it to 10, this is what happened. This will make you so much more confident dealing with strangers, dealing with people, because now you begin to learn a statistic that you know that if this weekend you go to the market and you can get to speak to 50 people, you're going to make at least 5 good sales. That's brilliant. That's 20 sales a month. That's brilliant. Most artists would kill for that, to have that kind of selling power. So don't see not selling as rejection. See it as you have to talk to more people to get your averages up to a point where you are selling regularly. Look, I hope this helps. If you do what I say, you're going to learn an awful lot about people, you're going to learn an awful lot about sales, and you're going to learn an awful lot about yourself. And remember, the moment you put a price tag on a painting, you're in the art business. So you've got to sell it. Okay, friends, I hope that helps. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Give me some questions if you've got questions about this. But I really know this is the key to selling. It comes down to averages. You've got to speak to so many people to get that one sale. When you realize that, rejection's not such a big thing. You can deal with it because 10 people are going to say no to get one sale. Okay, I hope that helps. You have a great day. I look forward to the day when you come and visit me here in Galeria de las Islas. And also remember to reach out and touch people. There's hurting people out there. Hey guys, you have a fabulous day and I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.